We're gonna call the meeting to order. Roll call, Commissioner Tebow.
Here.
Commissioner Chris Sheedy.
Here.
Commissioner Witter.
Here.
Commissioner Sharp.
Here.
And Commissioner Dennis Sheedy. Agenda item number 1, September 2019 warrant in the amount of $141,044.15.
I'll make a motion to approve the September 2019 warrant in the amount of $141,044.15.
Oh, second that.
Motion by Commissioner Chris Sheedy, a second by Commissioner Sharp. Any discussion?
I had a question or two, Kathy. Affordable Housing Network LLC, it's $120 for Section 8 reports.
Oh, that's the, use that with the GO Section 8.
Is it GO Section 8?
I think it is, that's, it's either inspections or the GO Section 8.
Inspections would be McCray, right?
Oh, okay.
GO Section 8.
That's what they call, okay,
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
thank you.
No problem.
And Cintas, that's the cleaning of the uniforms, right? Oh, no.
Yes, that was, it is, that was the last payment. The
Okay.
guys got the uniforms, that's the end of it, they're claiming, there are some missing uniforms, which there are not, and there is still a discrepancy in the bill that I'm disputing with them, because they were screwing up uniforms, we were getting stuff back that wasn't ours, so.
Yeah.
And stuff that was yours has gone elsewhere.
Yes,
We had lots of administrative problems with them when they
Yes.
worked with us with uniforms.
yeah, so, that bill I'm disputing with them, I don't have any intention of paying them, it's a nominal amount, 300, I think, but they have everything back that they should have back.
I had a question about the net metering,
Mm-hmm.
that we're paying $14,000?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's our portion of the utility. Blue Wave Capital bills us. We save a lot of money. The bills are significantly higher.
It's in line with what we pay at other authorities.
So we get, say,
We pay
17.
for our on-site solar, but we just get money. We don't pay any money for net
Yeah, no,
metering.
we get nominal bills from the electric company. Most of them are zero. There are a few that aren't, and I can't, off the top of my head, I think it's Chandler Way. There's a couple of bills we get, but typically all the bills that come in from National Grid are zero, and we get the bill through the net metering company.
It's weird. Opposite of what we do.
Is that because it's subsidized through the federal government?
No.
And then how is it paid?
Hmm?
How is it paid?
We pay it. It's an electricity bill.
A lot of that was paid to the county.
Any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous. Agenda item number 2, financial statements for August 2019. Anything stick out to you, Kathy?
Actually, doing pretty good. Rents are still up. The water bills are down, but the electricity is up slightly. But again, those vary from month to month, depending on when the bills come in and when the fee comes to the books. Maintenance materials and supplies are underwriting currently. So at the moment, we're doing pretty well, especially with the ups, the rents being up.
And one question, I was probably asked it 3 or 4 times, so it'll take 3 or 4 more times for me to get it.
Okay.
Hopefully you remember, what's retained revenue in the 400C, $65,355?
I believe that's from the net metering.
Okay, yes, okay, all right, okay.
I have one question, just on the receivable and payable between Section 8 and revolving. Does that get done like just once a year? Or?
No, when they'll tell me, I'll say to them, hey, should I move some money? And they'll give me an amount to move. The fee accountant will advise me on what to move into the account. So it's not monthly. I'd say it's pretty quarterly though. Depending on if I need to get some more money into the revolving.
Yeah, looks like might wanna move.
Oh, we did. We did. Yes, I just recently did, actually.
All right.
Any other questions or concerns?
I will make a motion to receive and place on file.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Christian Shady, a second by Commissioner Tebow. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. Agenda item number 3, Public Housing Notice 2019-23, ARCAD Advisory Board Elections.
It's just the notice that came out if the board wants to nominate anybody to be on the RCAP board.
Well, in the past, Commissioner Christian Sheedy was on it. Do you want to continue, Christian? or-
I suppose I could, but
Is there anyone else who's interested? She has so much enthusiasm.
It's not required that a board member has to be on it, so.
Not required, and from what I'm hearing, the board has found that there's not much for you to do.
well, we meet quarterly. We go over statistics of basically the data and statistics of what the RCAT has done, projects and capital plans and so on and so forth, and the things they're working on, like templates and specs and things like that. So it just is basically apprising us of the status of the RCAT. But it just is getting to be kind of, nobody shows up to the meetings. It's getting to be kind of pointless. I feel bad though, so I'll stick with it for now, because I'm hoping it's.
I'll
eventually
nominate Christian
change.
Sheedy for the position of RCAP board member.
Thanks, Tom.
Have a second.
I'll go to the meeting if it'll make you feel good. I'll be there.
I saw a little positive stunt there, so.
You jumped.
Before you can change your mind.
Okay.
So we need a proper vote on
Yeah.
that. Can I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Tebow, fast motion, and a second by Commissioner Wood. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All
Thank you,
opposed? Hearing none, that's unanimous.
I didn't mind.
Is it a great distance to travel?
Fine.
Oh,
It's just in Taunton. I just have to leave work early and get the
Where do they meet? Taunton?
Taunton Housing Authority.
All right, agenda item number 4, 26 Pequonnoquet Ave, approval and funding, revised ILAP. That was interesting, Kathy, from DHCD.
Mhm. So they're gonna match dollar for dollar, whatever the grant is though, even though that's what this says right now. They said that they will meet the Affordable Housing Trust, depending on whatever the property is we purchase, they'll match it dollar for dollar.
Evenly, because right now they have Affordable Housing Trust paying more than they do, so
Yes.
that's not a match.
Right. I discussed that with Paul McPartland. I've also talked about it with Wayne Beatler, and I advised Paul what Wayne had said, and he said that that was fine, and that's why they released these letters, but they will match it.
But the letters don't say that, do they? Necessarily, because I'm seeing Affordable Housing Trust at 180 and the town at,
The state.
the state at 165.
Right, but we don't think we're gonna need all those funds anyhow from either way. So now the Affordable Housing Trust did ask me to ask the HCD, and they said that they would, it would probably, chances are we won't need all that money to purchase another unit.
But when they correct the letter, can they put in, we will match up to
They already-
180,000?
they-
Not,
No, they'd only give us the 165, that's all the HILAP was gonna allot us to begin with. But they did send the
so
corrected
affordable
letter.
housing was always over?
180, yes.
So they were always at 15.
Correct, yes. And I did hear from the attorney today, town council has approve the P&S, and we're hoping to sign that November 1st or 2nd. So there's some questions still on whether the chairman has to sign the P&S. It doesn't have to be a board meeting, but the chairman might have to sign the P&S, and the board might have to sign the deed, all members, and then I could sign the settlement. So, still questionable.
That's fine, however it works out.
Yeah, we wouldn't need a meeting for that, it's because we've gone through this whole process.
We could put on record that we authorize the chair to sign
Mhm.
for the
Yep.
board.
So they're gonna correct us, we're not Ludlow?
Correct, they already did correct us.
And we don't know who the CHA is.
Yeah, in the second letter, there's CHA in that one. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, so
Down toward the, well, almost,
Janelle needs a better proofreader.
This change in award does not require any additional paperwork or votes by the CHA. The third paragraph.
Yeah, third paragraph.
I will ask him on that one.
I'm wondering if maybe we could get a little bit more out of the PHIDP. I'm gonna look back at my old notes from that meeting that we had with Ben, was it Ben?
Yep, it was Ben Stone.
Yeah, and see what kind of numbers he was throwing around in that program. Because I seem to remember it being a lot more than 25,000.
Oh, it was.
He did explain how,
They
you know,
can,
there was gonna be a trade-off between the high lap and the public housing innovation demonstration program, but, you know, prices of houses in Easton are going up.
mhm.
So I'll look back at
Actually,
my
I've been
notes.
looking at them, they've actually started to drop because of the time of the year.
Mhm.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And the other thing is, when we go out, we have to go out for an RFP for proposals of people to sell us the house. We can't go out and just shop for a house. So it's still gonna be a lengthy process to replace it, because the house, you know, you might get somebody on the market that wants to get rid of their house and it needs a lot of repairs, but we can reject that offer. And we have it written up in the paperwork, which I haven't done yet, which I'll present in November. for
Do
the
you have
board
to go for 30 days or 60 days on that RFP?
You have, I think it's 30 days, but then it's rolling. They
Rolling,
do
yeah.
rolling dates from there on in case it doesn't come in, so you don't have to keep re-advertising
how would a seller know that we're interested?
by our Realtor. And we would post an ad in the paper.
So we would rely, I'm assuming it's Meredith, would it be Meredith that we would
Yeah. Yeah.
rely
She's been very
heavily
good.
on her
Yeah,
to
yeah.
find us something?
But if we saw something, I don't know if that's something that I can say as the Realtor, if she could ask the seller if that's something they would be interested in too. If there was something that wasn't necessarily her MLS and somebody else's.
Oh, absolutely. So we would make sure on the RFP that it says that.
Mhm.
And so the RFP should be written, that's the art, right?
Yes,
To write it, so it's broad enough not to eliminate stuff you want, but narrow enough not to get stuff you don't want.
exactly. And I've been working on that with Palm Apartments too. I mean, they have a basic form that they used with Ludlow and stuff. So, and they've gone through this with Ludlow, so.
So we don't have to take a vote on this?
No, not at this time. It's an informational.
The CHA doesn't have to.
Next
So
month
the November meeting, you'll probably have the RFP.
Yes.
And then it would have to get posted and it would have to be 30 days. So chances are we wouldn't be able to look at anything until January.
January, which isn't necessarily a bad time for us to be buying.
Right.
Unless it keeps on going every 6 weeks and rolling.
Because we'd be meeting again in November 15th thereabouts, so there's probably no chance it's going to get ready any sooner that you'd want to call a special meeting.
I don't think we would, for the RFP meeting,
Yeah, if we have to approve it.
possible. It's possible.
I wouldn't mind that.
I mean, a lot of it's done. I was waiting on the actual town council to approve the PNS. So, yeah, I mean, I could do a special meeting just on that.
I don't know, I'm just thinking to keep it moving,
Okay.
but certainly it's up to the rest of the board too.
No, when it comes to real estate, I think we have to be as flexible as possible. You know, things will just go away.
Yep.
And I think we should also authorize the chair and or the executive director to do as much as they can, you know, that we feel comfortable, because it does, especially, and I don't know what the market's like, I'm not buying anything myself, so, you know, but buyers will say, you know, I've got 3 buyers, if you can't tell me today or tomorrow, then.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
And I think I'll make a motion that we authorize the chair to sign the PNS.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Christianchuti and a second by Commissioner Tebow. Any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's unanimous.
You say that.
I've got a house at 11 Bradford Street.
If you have a pool, I'm not buying it. I've already said we need to put that in there, no swimming pools, because a lot of houses have them.
Yeah, good point.
No, and
In the little area of fireplaces too, but we can make those pretty inactive quickly.
Yeah, good point.
Is there any other discussion or concerns regarding 26 for Concord?
Not at this time.
We're good. We'll move on to agenda item number 5. Public Housing Notice 2019-19, Notice of Funds for Resident Service Coordinator application with the Norton Housing Authority approval. Want to discuss this a little, Kathy?
Certainly. I've always said it would be great to have a resident service coordinator here, especially because of mostly elderly housing. This NOFA came out, and in a meeting, I don't think we could supply a resident service position for 37.5 hours a week, but between the two authorities, we could. She has just a few less than us, so we were thinking, you know, maybe 15 hours a week with her and 18 with us. So we were going to apply for it, and we need the board's approval to apply for the grant. Whether we get it or not, I don't know. I'm hoping we do, but
I compliment you for taking the initiative. I think it's great to partner up. And what you're saying is they'll give you 2 grants, one that you'll be able to share.
one grant that we share, and the grant's up to $40,000 to pay this position.
It's hard to get someone for 35 hours, so.
yeah, and so that doesn't cover any benefits.
It would, because it would be one position. Is my understanding from DHCD, I would be the lead agency because we're bigger. And in discussing this, we've agreed that I'd be, because I'd have to do the reporting every year annually on all the metrics on it. So I would imagine we would bill Norton, that's yet to be determined how that would work out, but there would be benefits because it would be coming out of this agency.
So we had this discussion on the housing committee that, because they were saying for $40,000, they were looking to get part-time people. We said, if you partnered, could you get more than $40,000? And they said that was interesting.
Oh.
Because of just what Christiane Sheedy's bringing up here is so you're looking for a person with a college degree, ideally with a focus on social work. Even though they are low-paid jobs in there, you're talking, you know, close to $40,000 just in salary, right?
A licensed social worker is minimum, somewhere $28 an hour.
Yeah.
It says here, $30,000 should be allocated for staff costs, and $10,000 total should be allocated for flexible funds for the programs.
But you're gonna have to cover their mileage, you're gonna be running back and forth between the two authorities, you're gonna have to.
Why would you, no,
Classic
that's
days.
interesting. I would say to that, they would report here as their office X days a week and report there as other X days, so I wouldn't have them going back and forth, I wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't have them going back and forth, but it'll happen, trust me.
Yeah, so you have someone call and as they're working on a case and someone's having a problem there, here, let's say over there, then you have to come here. But so they were envisioning that you would get someone like a visiting nurse who is doing per diem hours, and you'd hire them per diem. Yeah, it didn't make much sense. They don't hire many people, I guess. That was their explanation, and I forget who it was, suggested they, you know, if two housing authorities went in, could they get more funds so they could hire one full-time person, split it along with the benefits, because after you go past, I don't know, how many hours do they have to get health insurance?
20,
20?
yeah.
So the full benefit package, so you're
Mhm.
going to have that cost. And if they're an employee, they have to go into the GIC, so it's not 25% benefit rate, it's higher.
And you gotta have
Your
workers'
time,
comp
and-
coverage.
Yeah, so it's gonna be, what's our rate here, do you know, somewhere around 50-something%?
38 usually,
No.
minimum 38% benefits.
Oh, I bet it's higher than that.
Yeah, it probably
With
is.
GIC and if they go into the retirement system. So I'm just looking at, I think it's a great idea. I mean, I certainly will support the application going in. I do think that, is there a person on here that's listed to speak to? Yeah, so it wouldn't take much other than a phone call to Avita Rothman?
Yeah. I don't know who that is.
I don't know who
I
that
don't
is.
either.
Also, one of the other things that I was just concerned about with this too is it doesn't seem like it's a permanently funded NOFA.
Right. He's a limit,
It
3 years.
is not, it is not.
Three.
Because this is
Five.
the money that
So
came
then-
through the extra 10 million we got in the budget.
Could continue for 2
So,
What happened when
They're
the
saying
funding
3 for
rolled?
sure.
right, well, then you're not worried
Minimum
about
of
doing
3.
it because they won't have enough time vested if you're only talking 2 years.
Yeah, well, hopefully it'll continue, because it is, I have a service coordinator that works in Brockton, who started in '93 in the pilot program. He's still there under the pilot
I had
program.
one when I was in
Yeah.
Housing,
Yeah.
and actually she split her time between the two, but was solely paid out of.
Full for 1.5 rounds.
Yeah. So again, I support it. I think we should take a shot at it.
See what happens.
I absolutely support it. I have one and we pay for that all by ourselves.
You do?
We do.
Are they operating?
Yes, we do. She was 22 hours a week, she's just gone up to 26 hours a week. And, yeah, I have 278 elderly handicapped tenants. And she's plenty busy,
Yeah.
plenty busy.
Mhm.
And I'm applying for it, I'm looking for more. And I'm
You
like,
should.
it's time for you to pay me, because
Mhm.
we've been paying this ourselves.
Mhm.
Chairman Dennis Sheedy just pointed out in that, the top of the second page, in order to fund as many LHAs as possible, awards are limited to 400,000 per L, 40,000.
Mhm.
40,000, sorry, thank
I
you.
was gonna apply here in a minute.
Per LHA, so is that
But they're-
possible that they would give us 40 for Easton and 40 for
I think
North?
that's what Tom was inferring to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
When he was saying that it's vague, we don't know.
So I would say ask for 80.
Okay.
What are they gonna say?
No,
Right,
we'll give you 60?
Yep, and that will cover your
there
benefits.
you go. You can complain, it's only 60 instead of
Yep.
40.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
But it does say, you absolutely right, it says per LHA.
Mhm.
I think Lila was the one who came up with it, who said, can we do 2? I forget who.
We should get some agencies.
How many hours were you figuring here and how many was Northern Clinton?
I was thinking 18 to 20.
So
Yeah.
3 days here, 2 days there.
And they would have an office, like, an office.
Yeah, we
here.
would be able to,
Austin?
yeah.
That's my question, whether we know.
This room over here,
Yeah, no,
clean
that's,
up, yeah.
anywhere they, the EHA.
Yeah. Yep, we would have one
And so you might have to break the costs, so if they're here more, you're gonna have to pay.
Correct, yes.
Same thing as
Yeah.
breaking out the budget between
Mhm.
section 8 and.
there. I mean, we could apply ourselves. If the board would like to do that, I just thought we'd have a better chance applying together.
If you do it yourself, you only get 40, you have to find that part-time person,
Mhm.
adequately try for the year.
Okay, all right.
I would entertain a motion to approve the application process,
So moved.
submittal of an application.
And I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Chris Anshidi, a second by Commissioner Whitup. Any further discussion?
Just want to point out that if we do get into a situation where we are partnering with Norton, just put a time limit on it, like 2 years or 3 years, and then as we see, as it goes along, that we may have a need for more hours, then there's a chance that we could, separate from Norton and strike out on our own. I don't know if that,
If we
Yeah.
can afford it.
Yeah, if we could afford it, not only that, this funding, I don't know how long it would even last.
yeah, it says that.
I think we make a case that solar money doesn't go away just because take that money, and use it.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yes, I was
Absolutely.
thinking about that. I'm sorry.
No problem. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. Agenda item number 6, a 5-year capital plan approval. Got a lot of nice colors in it.
Yeah, we like it.
I had the tenant meetings last week with a lot of the tenants. We did one meeting here, and we did one at the Leaf Circle. We had about 8 residents here and about 11 at a Leaf Circle, and we had some great ideas. And I went over the plan with them, and everybody seemed pleased with it. Explained how the funding goes and why, for instance, we did want to do the siding here at a Leaf Circle, at Parker Terrace sooner than not, but the fire alarm panel, we're a little wary about that because they're having trouble getting parts for it, so we would rather replace it here. The panel at Elise was replaced, I guess, a few years ago. There was a fire or something on the panel and they replaced it. But this panel needs to be done, and unfortunately it's in a lot of underground trenching, so it would be expensive. So we bumped that job up. And then Chandler Way, we actually met with Graves Engineering today regarding Chandler, so that will be starting the electric panels at Elise Circle. We're gonna finish those up. Once we have the funding from the Secretary's office, from Claire Cronin, we're gonna renovate the community room up there and make one handicap accessible bathroom out of the 2 bathrooms that are up there, and maybe add another washer and dryer. We also have a reasonable accommodation for a door here at Parker Terrace that needs to be widened, and unfortunately, it hits studs. In order to do that, we have to have an architect because it affects the header to the 2nd floor of the building, so that reasonable accommodation is gonna be about $23,000.
But that comes under your ADA set aside.
Not necessarily.
No, that's too bad.
Yeah. And then we're just doing some tree removal. We have a large oak tree up at the Leaf Circle that's overhanging the parking lot that they're concerned with, and a couple of pines behind one of the buildings. I think it's building 1 and 2 at least that need to come down that are dead. So we put in a small project that we could probably do with the ARCAT team on that. So that shouldn't be too bad. And then we're going to move forward with the roof replacements at Leaf Circle with the community preservation funds that we were awarded. And then obviously years out, we're hoping to do sidewalk or roadways at both these sites and the siding at Parker Terrace.
Kathy, can I just,
Mhm.
to line up, so if I go to the bottom here, it says 2020,
Yes,
and
it
that
lines
goes up?
up, correct.
Okay, 221, all right.
Yes.
Okay.
They used to have it this one has it at the top, for whatever reason,
Got cut off.
that
okay.
one got cut off. These came from, this one came from the ARCAT team, our
Mhm.
printer, for whatever reason.
Cut it off.
Yeah.
All right. I just wanted to make sure I
Yes.
was reading it right.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the capital improvement plan for submittal.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Tebow, a second by Commissioner Whitup. Any further discussion? Where are we at with the roof replacement? Is that gone anywhere yet?
Not yet, no. We have to, I've talked to Wayne about it briefly. DHCD is a little behind on a lot of the house wrappers right now too, so I would need one. It took quite a while, we were hoping to get Chandler Way paved before the winter, and we literally, that's been going on since May or June that I've been asking, and we just got to House Doctor. So I know they're falling behind on some of this stuff, but.
All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous. Agenda item number 7, Executive Director's Report.
I just wanted to comment on the vacancies. You're turning over, and you're averaging less than 21 days on the ones there. That's very good.
Yeah, you guys do a great job, you really do.
And the fire department putting their emergency medical cots here, I think that's another,
Yes.
win-win
Yes,
for them, and for us.
absolutely. It took a long time, I actually forgot that they had applied for it, and I was at the Harvest Fair a week ago Sunday, and I ran into the emergency response team, and I was talking with them, and the lady came over and said, "Oh my God, did you hear?" And the chief hadn't called me yet, they got approved, we're just waiting to get the trailer first, to get the cots in place. They're probably gonna put it out back, in the back of this lot, so they'll be accessible when they need them.
Dan's gonna be prepared for snow removal, make sure that it works well with,
Oh yeah, the guys will do
it's
it.
not gonna interfere with snow removal or snow storage if we get.
No, because we have that, the dirt area in the
Yes.
lot back, they'll
There'll be
place
plenty
it
of
there,
room
and
for
I'm
that.
sure they'll arrange it so the front of it is always clear. Yeah.
I did notice on the bottom where you were talking about the time off at the end of the
Mhm.
year. I think that our current policy allows the staff to carry over only 2 weeks,
10 days, yes,
10 days.
yeah.
My opinion is just, is that that's, I would rather increase that than pay out. If I was you, I'd probably rather get paid out. But-
Well, I just wanted the board to consider it, I was actually gonna place it on the November agenda when I saw better in November what time was, just where it was right now. But actually, I was gonna put this in the packet too, it says unless otherwise approved by the board each calendar year,
Yeah. Yes.
so. Just for consideration, I'll put it on next
So-
month's agenda.
Yeah, I mean, it goes as a liability, the time on, I understand that,
Mhm.
and that if you retire, you get whatever's there.
Mhm.
So I think that's a benefit to you, if we, up that a
Mhm.
bit. But then you still have to use your time during the year.
Right,
It's a balancing act, it
yeah,
always is.
oh no, it certainly is.
Any other discussion or concerns regarding the Executive Director's Report?
Just wish you good luck with your November 12th resident board training, that'll be your first, won't it?
Yeah, yep, so they needed somebody in this area, so, and they did a training at one of the sessions I went to, it was, I believe, Sunita. So she asked, and I said, sure, yeah. So
Do you
we'll
have
see
to
how they turn out.
relocate lunch?
Hmm?
Do you have to relocate lunch?
No, we can put them in the hobby room, we'll clean that up.
Oh, it's not that many are expected, huh?
Yeah, that's what she said, if we got
Okay.
7, she'd be surprised, so,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So hopefully, see what happens.
Yeah. I know most of the board members are seniors, and it's not,
It's very difficult.
yeah, I mean, we have Ashton, who's in the wheelchair, meeting, and he did, actually, they did pick him up, brought him down to Antelope.
Yeah, they will,
Yeah.
they absolutely will, yeah. Yeah.
It's not gonna be without.
No.
But, okay.
Oh, John was just asking about the vendor who you'll probably contract a local, like a sub shop or.
We don't do that. The Malking
They-
Institute does it, yeah, we don't do that. I think they use Panera. And
Panera.
bring in sandwiches and, yeah, coffee. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
they
would
bring
be, yeah, no, we
John's
don't.
decided whether he's going.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be worth it, John.
In the morning,
I
they
just
bring
had
in,
enough of the Meals on Wheels already.
No, they bring in Panera, I think.
they
go
bring
with,
in pastries and
Yes.
coffee in the morning, and
Yes.
then,
And
and
lunch.
lunch, they bring the sandwiches.
yes. Yeah. Yep.
right, any other questions or concerns regarding the executive director's report? Hearing none, do we put that on file? Do we accept it?
No, not usually.
We'll move on to agenda number 8, resident questions and comments. Your turn, folks.
Is there any reason why Lee Circle can't have a generator? And when the winter comes here, it's gonna be too hot for us older people to walk from there, from Lee Circle over to here.
Well,
Jackie, did that come up at the...
I did a little research on them. I did some
One at a
research.
time, please.
We don't have the funding for it. We do have a generator here, and actually the generator here is an older generator as well. We work, as I explained, with the fire department. They would, in case of emergency, they have teams who would transport people to this room. This is a bigger room. I mean, that's definitely a good idea and something we're gonna look into in the future. But as far as the funding goes right now, we don't have enough funding to do that.
Because I have talked to one of the firemen, and they said we should have one over there.
Well, then they should fund us. Ask them to get us a grant and get us one.
Can I kind of like take it a little bit deeper? Okay. Mary, you're right, and you're right, and I understand all the concerns. But if you look at it from a different perspective, you're gonna see a whole new light on the whole situation. Number one, we're not talking about a widescreen TV. And we're not talking about pain. We're talking about life and death, number one. That should be our primary concern. Number two, every time they spark up those engines at the fire station and they come down here, it costs the taxpayers $300 to $500. Put that in your back pocket, all right? I just talked to a reliable source right here in town that put a 30,000 kilowatt generator in his business, which is well over 6 times what we would need for that building over there. And it cost him about $10,000. We could do that building for around $5 grand.
We can't, unfortunately.
If I could get it for $5 grand, would you do it?
Okay, but no,
No.
we have to pay prevailing wage
You've got to
rates.
pay the fire department $500 every time they respond
No,
down here.
they work with an emergency response team. It's not necessarily the fire department. You should ask the firemen about the emergency response team. They're
It costs money
volunteers.
for them to come here.
They're volunteers, sir. And we have to, the generators don't cost that. They cost well more than that. We have to pay
I used to
prevailing.
make them, I worked on them, I know what I'm talking about.
Excuse me, sir, you're talking about private business. Private business and public housing are two different entities. It's not even close for what you can buy out there and what we can buy here. It's not
Do
close.
actually, I have another question. When you have these meetings, is there any substance to the people being here? Do we have any pull on anything that's actually being resolved by these meetings? Or is it already said and done before we walk through the door? Because it seems to me that everything I said is common sense and it's benefiting the welfare of the people. Or you're shooting it down before we go anywhere with it.
That's because we know.
I'm sure you do.
I didn't shoot it down, actually. I
It's a
thought
good
it was
idea.
a great
How
idea.
How many of you guys, let me ask you another question. I see 6 people in front of me, John lives here, so 5 people. And in all honesty, how many people, how many of you guys have generators at home?
I don't,
I don't.
Nobody has a generator at home?
I do not.
What's that got to do with
I'm
him?
just curious, just curiosity.
Okay.
I used extra blankets back in March 2018. I
Yeah, but
dragged
people
up
that live
blankets.
here don't live here because they want to. They live here out of need and necessity. And a lot of people that live here, they have to have these things. They don't need a widescreen TV. They don't need a paint job. They need oxygen. And they need power to do that.
We absolutely understand what you're saying. We understand that that's a need and that the folks
If
here.
you want a widescreen TV, why don't we get a
We're not
collection
talking
for
about a
cans and
widescreen
bottles
TV.
to turn
Nobody's
in
brought that up
and save
other
up
than you.
for it? But
Um,
I just don't
so-
understand the logic here.
Well, I'm trying to explain the logic, if you would give me a second.
Sure.
We absolutely know the need, we are not disputing that. But in order to put a generator in, it requires a lot more than what you're assuming is going to be the cost and the process. Because we have to go through an entire design of the system, we have to put it out to bid, we have to pay prevailing wage, and we have to put in the generator that works with that particular
If
building.
the offices were located at a lease circle, there'd be a generator there tomorrow.
Just so you're aware, the offices are not powered by this generator.
I know,
This
but there's a
room-
generator here though.
It powers this room, not our office.
That's not, the point is that there's one here.
Because this was the bigger room to accommodate
It's an
people.
emergency shelter.
It's an emergency
What's that
shelter.
over there?
It's on an
That's-
emergency shelter.
Homeless?
No, it's a community room. It's a small facility. They were built that way.
I'm
when the-
sorry, I don't get it. I just don't get it.
You
I
should
just
get-
feel,
It's a great
I just
idea,
feel for
and
the
we are
people that
going
need
to
it, you
put
know?
it on the plans for upcoming years. I had said that at the meeting. It was just brought up at the meeting.
Well, I just feel that people need it, and I mean, I don't personally need it, but I know I don't need a widescreen TV, and I don't need an extra washing machine, and I don't need all this other stuff. I would rather see somebody who needs it have what they need.
Well, I'm getting a lot of complaints about washing machines, and they'd like more at least circle.
You know, I'm sorry,
So-
you know, I think it's more about life and death than it is about a clean pair of underwear.
Yeah.
Any other comments, suggestions, anything else?
I agree with him.
I agree.
We agree with you all too, but
I agree with
it's,
him.
it's not something, that's why there was a meeting last week as far as the capital items that are needed. You come and you express your concerns, they get on
Yeah,
there, and we,
We're gonna,
as funding
last
becomes
month,
Why
available.
can't we look at it from a
I was
different
here
angle?
last month.
If you were to actually talk to the town and say, look at, how many times you respond here, and how many times do you actually,
Sir, we're not gonna break down the fire department's costs, where we're really, that's,
well, maybe we need to.
well, no, we don't. Ma'am, you have a
Yeah, well, that's wasted money. I mean,
I think he's right in what he's saying. It seems like once you come into this place, you have no rights, not even to your health, okay? I can't vote. My constitutional rights have been taken away. My religious rights have been taken away. It's like I don't exist. Only you people up there exist. We don't.
How come you can't vote?
Why? Because nobody ever put up a vote of what's good for us here. You people
We-
decide it.
we did.
We don't.
I believe at one meeting, we did advise you on forming a resident council.
And I am trying.
Okay.
We all are.
That's
But
the
in
route you
the
need to go.
meantime, we have to do your bidding. You guys are God.
why can't we start a fund to go ahead and raise the money for a generator? Is there anything stopping us from that?
So why not?
Okay.
I think the most question is, the generator will keep people warm in the storms, electricity, something to warm their stomachs. Where painted buildings, or a new bathroom that we got children for, or a new stove, they're not gonna do that for people. It's just gonna
Kathy,
make the
is that a
building
headache?
pretty.
Honestly. I mean,
That doesn't do much for people that are living here and that are cold,
What?
that don't have a place to go, that don't have family. They still need to be able to get some warmth, and can't walk over here.
And that's
I mean-
another
I think
thing,
that's
you
the-
have to
Miss,
have.
one at a time, one at a time.
Yeah, I don't wanna open up a big can of worms here, but I'm just asking, honestly, Kathy, is this something that we could do?
A generator?
I mean, within reasonable, can it be done without making things a big issue? Is-
Any construction job in public housing is a big issue. End of story. We don't make those rules. That's the way the
Would
state
you
operates.
support it?
I think it's a great idea.
All
I
right.
said that at the meeting, and I think you were all at the meeting when I said it was a great idea.
All right, then maybe we
And I
need
was
to look
gonna
at it
try
from
to
a
put it
different
in-
angle so everybody's happy. I mean, because I really think we need one there, and I understand your situation
You do
here.
understand,
But,
the only thing it's going to power is the community room. It's not gonna power apartments.
no,
I think
fully
people are
understand that.
misguided in thinking that
No.
they're gonna have power in their
No, no, no.
apartments, because that doesn't happen.
And to do that, honestly, it's only probably a 5-6 kW, you know, it's all you need, it's just a small
You know,
generator.
you can say that,
enough
but you
power.
don't know, and that's why we have professionals that do this.
Yeah.
That's why they have architects and designers.
No, I understand, but I know enough about generators to know what it would take to power that, and I understand. And it's only an emergency backup, you know, but we'll look at it from another angle, we'll figure something out and throw it back at you. You know, maybe we'll have to collect cans and bottles and stuff, who knows, you know?
Here's the first one.
You know? Well, I mean, come on, we gotta start somewhere. I mean, if we want it bad enough, we gotta do something, right? We'll sell brandy.
My nephew
Go little
put
puppy,
3
I'll tell you.
kids through
I'm
college
joking.
picking up cans. Yeah.
No, so we can maybe work something out, and actually it might be good for the community too. You know, might bring us all together a little.
Well, we're picking for cans.
Yeah.
When it comes to the trash barrels, $80.
Wait a minute, I came up with the idea, that don't mean I have to fulfill it.
Anything else, folks?
Yeah, but I still back, I do have more, but I'm not gonna go on with it, but I do know what it costs to have the fire department come down here every time. And it would be great to eliminate a lot of those visits, and I did speak with the fire department,
A generator's not gonna eliminate the trips the
No,
fire
no.
department makes here. At all.
Yeah, no,
That is
a lot
part
of
of
the
their job.
visits, a lot of the visits would eliminate the charging of the oxygen tanks and that.
They
kind of thing.
don't
They
do
said
that either.
They said that we wouldn't have to visit as many times, for that one reason.
Which firemen, I
I
mean, we deal with
am
the
not- I
safety
can't-
firemen,
I'm
and,
not giving out names.
and I deal with the
I'm
chief,
not giving out names.
and they seem
I
very
don't kiss
happy
and
with
tell.
what
All
goes
right,
on
we're
there.
gonna move along. Any
That's
other
right.
discussions?
No, but I really think that it would cut down on the amount of times that they'd have to come down here,
Next meeting
you
date?
know?
Excuse me,
Yeah.
I do have, like, voice something. I live in the back over there, and I love dogs, I have no problems with everybody walking their dogs. But they feel like they can walk their dogs right up against our back porches. I look out my back door at night, and all of a sudden I see a dog and a strange person looking at me. I think there should be some kind of rules that apply. Most of them are very courteous, I mean, they'll, you know, if they gotta walk there, they gotta walk there, but they'll go over by the fence. I'm tired of having to rinse dog pee off my porch. I'm just saying, it's something petty, but I don't have an animal, and if I did, I definitely wouldn't let it pee on somebody else's porch. But there's a couple of them that do it all the time. Like I said, in the back, fine. Please don't pee on my porch.
If you,
And don't be staring in my apartment.
if you come to me, which I haven't heard this from you, and let me know who the people are, I can resolve that problem. But if I'm not aware of the situation or who the people are, there's not much I can do about it.
Well, I'm just, if we had a complaint, I'm just putting out the complaint there now.
I know, but if you want me to resolve it, I'd have to
And
know
then
who
the
they are.
two, whoever do it, they're from a leaf circle, that's all I know. I don't know who they are. I'm not gonna go out at night and confront somebody, that's not who I am. But there should be some kind of designated areas for dogs to go. Or something should be said where, you know what, be courteous. Don't let your dog pee on other people. It's not just my porch either.
There is that in the handbook. It says to be courteous, don't let the dog. That is
Yeah.
written.
But maybe it's something that needs to be addressed again because it's been happening more and more. I
Yeah,
mean,
I've heard a
Jane
lot
lives
of
there with her
complaints
dog,
like that.
she walks by, I mean, she's courteous, she walks away from the apartments. These people walk by our apartment doors and let their dogs stand there, let their dogs pee on our porch and stare into where we live. It's happened to me, it's happened to that.
Why can't they simply just be notified, just everybody walk their dogs in the front of the building, and why do they have to
Because
go
then they
behind?
go up to the doors
Yeah, they go up
in the
to
front.
Yes.
Because I mean, I've heard a few complaints about
Well,
that.
I
Well,
can
we've
name,
seen,
I
we've
can
seen
name
him do
them.
that. We had seen him.
Seen them do.
And we have asked them not to, in a nice way, not to, not to walk their dogs here.
Front or
And
the
they
back.
don't care.
But I think that Kathy was very clear that if you let her know, she will address that person individually.
I will let her know, two of them, that
Yeah, please.
I will.
That would be great. And-
because I told them, please don't bring your dogs in the back because of them going up onto the porch.
And like Jane, she has a dog of her own, it upsets her dog, it upsets my cat.
Okay, nice stuff,
You know?
right after you told.
My main thing is I don't like strangers hearing into my back door.
Me
So to me, they have no right being over there after dark, none at all. Especially if they live over at a Lee Circle. So, I'm just saying. I should feel safe in my own apartment.
You'll look into that, Kathy?
So what do we need to do as far as this generator? No,
This
I
is
mean,
all
like-
yours, Scott. This is your idea, you can roll with it.
Well, roll with it,
No,
but I mean,
I-
what kind of assistance am I gonna get from the office?
We're pretty busy in the office with the construction jobs we've got going on currently.
Next meeting?
If I can get the money up for the generator, will I get some assistance to hardwire it?
You won't be working on it, sir. You have to get enough money to fund it the proper way.
Well, that's what I'm saying, will I get some assistance?
I would have to talk to the Department of Housing about that. That's not something we do, we work with the department.
I'm gonna have to get some people on my side to help me stop picking the cans and bottles. We'll have to open up a bank account.
John is saying that the 12th is okay.
That's the day of the training.
Yeah, but that's during the day. Is that not, oh, it's too much for you? We can go all farther. I don't.
Next one, we'll-
10 to 3:30, actually.
Can we do the 13th? Or does that, or do we want to go next week? Next week we have Mass Nara on the 19th and the 20th. Could we do the 13th?
Aye. 13th?
That's fine, so it'll be Wednesday, the
The Wednesday.
13th. Is that all right with you?
You good?
You all right?
What do you mean? Me too.
I have a standing date on Wednesday.
We need a,
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Chris Shady, a second by Commissioner Tebow. All in favor?
Aye.